You don't need gutter guards for your house. At least that's what some people have told me. And I don't quite agree with that statement. And to add a little more context, basically people are telling me that I don't live in a jungle, I don't live in woods, so I don't need gutter guards for my house. I have several large trees around my house. I actually have 4 large maples to be exact, and then a ton of trees just about 50 yards from my house. And newsflash, leaves don't just drop straight to the ground all the time. They tend to also float. So let's take a few moments and discuss why that's my opinion, talk through some pros and cons of these gutter guards, maybe get rid of some different myths that come along with these, and let you guys make the decision on what you choose to do with gutter guards around your house. Also keep in mind, I bought these with my own money from my local Costco. No ties to the brand, to the company. I'm just a user of the product and believes in how well it does work. And I've had these installed on the house now almost 5 years. I have a video above here of the 3-year review I did for these. It's pretty popular here on the channel. And again, I'm just a guy who likes the product, so I want to share it with you all. So the back of my house is the most subjective to leaves. They also can follow the front, but the back is where it receives a brunt of the load. You can see they're starting to change now, follow the ground. Well, let's get up here and take a quick look at the actual gutter guards themselves. I've not been up here yet this year. So this is a live look of a full year's worth of wear and tear and current fall time conditions. All of this stuff is falling off onto the ground so that I can mow it, mulch it, whatever, make it disappear. But nothing is staying stuck in the gutters. To get you guys down in here to see past the mesh, nothing down in there except for some debris that was prior to the installation. And so I think a lot of people make these assumptions that I don't need gutter guard because either A, they've had a bad experience with it, they paid somebody too much money to do it, maybe they are not in an ideal situation and are using them anyways, or they bought the wrong thing for their application. And just some of my opinions, right? Some of the biggest myths with gutter guards are they don't work. They get clogged with leaves and debris. They don't let water through. They are expensive, and they're really not maintenance free. So a few different things here, right? I've had 0 problems with mine getting clogged with leaves and debris. Again, you can see that it catches the actual roof aggregate as well as bugs. Water penetration has also not been a problem. Even in heavy downpours, these things always keep up. I have some other footage here from previous videos I'll put in here for some B-roll, but again, this isn't actual footage of the rainfall, but if it's a hose directly at this screen, it flows through it freely. Some places like the valleys of your roof may be more susceptible to catching water, but there are diverters you can install to fix that. The myth of gutter guards being expensive, that is kind of true. A good gutter guard is not cheap per linear foot, and the not cheap per linear foot gutter guard for DIYers, which is what I did this all myself, is substantially less than paying somebody to have it installed. So an expensive gutter guard paid by a professional installed is going to be even more. But again, you have to put some type of gauge on your time and effort and safety. I'm lucky to have a single level ranch, and so our house is pretty susceptible and easy to being cleaned out. But it happens 2 to 3 times a year where they would be stuffed full of leaves, and I don't want to do that. I don't have to keep cleaning them out. There's better ways to spend my time around the house than cleaning out gutters. Let's just be honest. I don't have them on the garage yet, and I can tell you right now that it's kind of a pain. I have to clean those out at least twice a year. Otherwise they get clogged, and then the rain does run right off the roof because the gutters can't catch them. They're clogged. Now back to the point of I don't need gutter guards. Now simply put, no, I don't need gutter guards, and maybe you don't either. But I would rather spend my time doing other things. I could just take the gutters off the house and let the water fall right next to the foundation and not have water problems in the basement. It's a good option. I could just close my eyes and pretend like there's nothing in them. So then when water runs over top of the gutters anyways, that, it's fine. It's raining. It's fine. No, gutters are working perfectly. I could just simply take the gutters off the house and just let it run straight into the ground, because who needs gutters? They're on the house for no reason. You don't want water management. No, that's fine. Point here is no, you never need them, and you don't have to live in the middle of a forest to benefit from them. Because like I said, I've got 4 large maple trees here, or whatever, I don't know what they are, 80 feet tall. And they have nice big leaves in the fall that come off, and they have those little spinny whoop-de-doos that come off in the spring, which make a massive mess everywhere. And I have to clean them up anyways. So if I can keep them out of the gutter, the more the better, because they like to plant themselves in the rock around my property. And when I mean plant themselves, they like to sprout right here in the flower beds. And I can just blow them out with a leaf blower. So no, I can't specifically say you have to have gutter guards, but the things you consider are the cost, your time, your application, how much maintenance you do or do not want to do around your house, and if you want to avoid some problems in the future. If I were to guess, and I'm not a landscape or water basement proofing expert, I'm guessing those folks have a couple of different problems. They may not have proper drainage around their house. They're not using gutters. Or if they are using gutters, they're overflowing when it does rain heavy and it's going right towards your foundation. Again, the purpose of gutters really is to direct water away from your foundation, away from your house to prevent problems. You could just let it run off and erode, but again, that's the point of it. You don't have to have them. It's an option. They're optional. Unless you live in an area which requires gutters on your houses or some type of rainwater management system. Just a note here in the box says keeps out leaves, roof grit, pine needles, pest. And so what I have here on the table in front of me is this exact gutter guard. I have other videos I'll put down in the description below and above here for these, this installation I've done before, as well as the 3-year review that I did. This is a very universal material. I bought this one at Costco. I'm not gonna go too far into detail about this stuff, but I wanted to just show you a piece of what it looks like if you're considering gutter guards. It's designed, assembled, and packaged here in the US. How this is set up is it is a nice micro mesh, stainless steel mesh with extruded aluminum profiles on the outside with a 3M backed adhesive on the front for one way of mounting. Otherwise, you can put self-tapping screws through the front of the aluminum as you tuck it under it. Again, I'll put a link above here for the actual install video. I'm not gonna go too far into detail on it, but I just wanna show you guys what I have installed in the house because people are gonna be like, oh, what did you use? Well, this is the Gutter Guard by Gutter Glove solution. There's some stuff on Amazon called Raptor Guard, which is very similar, just a little different name. So if you are considering Gutter Guard, just be resourceful, research what works in your application. Consider the size of your gutter, the type of the gutter you have, what your budget is, and what you're willing to do. Are you willing to do this yourself, DIY, that type of thing? Also keep in mind the maintenance. Not all gutter guards are created equal. Some require more than others. And they are not 100% maintenance free, like I mentioned. And the pros and cons or things to consider. If you're like me, I'm an avid DIYer, so I did this myself, saved myself a bunch of money and time. Helps you understand how they're also installed. So in case you have a problem in the future, you can deal with it yourself. Helps you save money. And again, in my opinion, it is a well worth investment to reduce the risk of falling off a ladder and to reduce the, 5 hours a year I would clean gutters out. Again, I don't know. I can't make the call for you. That's what I'm trying to say. But in my situation, I found it worth every single penny. Especially if you pick this stuff up. It goes on sale fairly often and you can get, I think, what is this? This is like, okay, so this 36-foot box of material, I think it was around 50 bucks. So it's a little over $1 a foot. So, just keep that in mind. It's not free, but it's of good quality, and the good quality stuff's gonna last you longer. Something else to consider, if you're one of the folks who physically can't clean your gutters out yourself, whether you're just not physically able to, maybe you're afraid of heights or whatever it may be, something to consider is you need to keep the gutters cleaned out. Either you're paying someone to do it, or you're gonna have to do it yourself, or again, pretend like it's not a problem. So installing gutter guards costs you money up front, but it allows you not to pay that reoccurring maintenance fee in the future. Again, these are not 100% maintenance free. I'd say mine are 99.9% maintenance free. Again, I haven't had to do much to them, but again, each application and scenario is different. Aside from the expense of cleaning out the gutter, you also have the expense of water intrusion, like I mentioned before, if you don't have this set up correctly. A good house layout really should have gutter directing water away from your house. Just keep the water away from the foundation so you don't have problems. Unless you're on a slab foundation, then maybe it's less of an issue. Now, I can't stress enough, gutter guards are not a one-size-fits-all. A one-size-fits most. In most applications, this is gonna work. If you live in an area where like moss or super fine pine needles they get a bunch of, or I don't know, maybe pollen, thick pollen. There are situations where this may not be beneficial to you. Now, if you live in an area with algae or mold or whatever growth stuff that's just happening to grow, you probably have an issue on your roof anyways, so you're probably gonna be, in general, up on the roof fixing that unless you choose to not worry about it. But again, here in the Midwest, where we have a lot of trees with the leaves on them, leaf-bearing trees, and stuff of that nature, it works really well. Keeps all the little helicopters and other seedlings out of it. Even the cottonwood trees that we have floating around, all their little seeds don't bother anything. So for those commenters that say, I don't need a gutter guard, I don't really honestly care what your opinion is, because you're not the one over here cleaning my gutters out, and you're not the one doing the install or paying for it. It saved me my time, and my time is precious. Any hour I'm out cleaning out my gutter is an hour I'm not doing something more beneficial to myself, my family, or my property. I even had some people that were home inspectors commenting on that gutter guards are horrible, they're bad. There probably are situations that they are. It is what it is. But I'll be honest with you, when I bought my house, the first thing the home inspector said is, oh, you have trees around your house. On the actual report, it said, recommended to install gutter guards to keep the gutters clear, to redirect water away from the house. It's odd, isn't it? So if you get anything out of today's conversation of whether or not you should have them, whether or not I should have them, whether or not you care about others' people's opinions on whether you have them, just be informed. Look at your options, get different quotes if you aren't doing it yourself, and don't settle for what's the cheapest, because the cheapest probably isn't the best solution for your property. And maybe you are the situation where you should not have gutter guards and it does not work well for your application, your property, whatever it may be. But again, I can't make that decision for you. Be informed to make informed decisions. That's the best advice I have for you. Research, understand, and just don't sign on a dotted line because it says it's the best thing. Look at the proposal, review it, ask questions, and be informed. Being informed and making educated decisions is the best thing you can do as a consumer, or even like myself as a DIYer installer. I'm a firm believer that there's no such thing as luck. Luck is a combination of preparedness and opportunity. And well, if you're prepared, and the right opportunity exists, well, you might just be lucky. What I'm trying to say is you create your own luck. Most of the time, yes, there is such thing as lucky situations, but creating luck is ultimately how you are the most lucky on a day-to-day basis. So hope you guys found this video informative and helpful. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate you hit that thumbs up button. If you're not a part of the YouTube family, hit that subscribe button and follow along. I will be sharing more and more content like this with you all, because the intent is for me to learn this stuff the hard way so you guys don't have to, and you can spend your money more wisely. I will put Amazon affiliate links below to some products like these gutter guards I have in my house. I'm very happy with them, and I would definitely recommend them to anybody trying to keep their gutters more maintenance free. Again, like I mentioned, they're not 100% maintenance free. Mine are pretty maintenance free in my location, but if you live in dense woods and have problems like moss, that could be a problem with moss buildup, but that's a problem on your roof anyways, I'm guaranteeing it. If you're having those issues, thanks for stopping, everybody. Greatly appreciate it. I'll catch you guys on the next video. We'll see ya. All right. On the next one.